Welcome to The Explainer, where we break down big, complex topics into something you can really sink your teeth into. Today, we're cracking the code on a discipline that is, no exaggeration, the backbone of any successful organization: risk management. Okay, let's dive right in. What you're looking at here is basically a one-page masterclass. It's a cheat sheet that helps organizations navigate the, let's be honest, pretty choppy waters of business uncertainty so they can make smarter, more confident decisions. So, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll tackle the big one. What even is risk? Then we'll walk through the process for managing it, look at the tools of the trade, figure out who's actually in charge, and finally, the big question: why any of this really matters. All right, first things first. What are we actually talking about when we use the word risk? Now, we throw this word around all the time, right? But in the business world, it has a very, very specific meaning. At its core, it's pretty simple. Risk is the effect of uncertainty on your goals. That's it. It's anything, and I mean literally anything, that could pop up and stop a company from getting where it wants to go. And it's so important to get this. Risk isn't just one big scary thing. It's more like a whole family of different challenges. I mean, think about it. You've got strategy risk, like a competitor just completely blindsiding you. You've got credit risk, the chance a customer just doesn't pay. And then there's stuff like operational risk, your servers crashing, or compliance risk, where you might accidentally break a new regulation. Each one needs its own unique game plan. Okay, so we've defined what risk is. Now for the interesting part. What do you actually do about it? Well, this isn't about just hoping for the best. It's a real, structured, repeatable process. And the heart of it all is this 5-step cycle. First, you've got to identify what could possibly go wrong. Next up, you assess it. How likely is it? And how bad would it be if it happened? Then, you figure out what to do about it. Can you control it? Reduce its impact? Then, and this part is key, you have to assign an owner. Somebody's got to be responsible. And finally, you tell everybody what's going on. And this slide is so crucial because it shows that managing risk is never, ever a one-and-done kind of deal. You can't just check it off a to-do list. It's a constant loop. You're always monitoring, always reporting, and always tweaking your plan as the world keeps changing. All right, now let's pop the hood and peek inside the professional's toolbox. We're going to see the specific methods and standards that really bring this whole process to life. To really understand risk from all sides, the pros use a whole bunch of different tools. They might do a classic SWOT analysis, for example, or they might run what's called a stress test, which is basically a simulation to see if the company could survive a massive crisis. The big takeaway here is that you need a full toolkit to see the problem from every angle, and of course to have a solid plan B ready to roll. Now, these tools aren't just used at random. They're actually guided by these big, internationally recognized frameworks, like ISO 3100. Just think of these frameworks as the official rulebook for the game. They create a universal language for risk, so when different companies talk about it, everyone is on the same page, following the same best practices. So, you've got the process, you've got the tools, but who actually does all of this? Is it just one person locked in a back office somewhere? Well, it's actually a bit more structured than that. A really popular way to organize this is called the 3 lines of defense model. Your first line, that's your frontline troops, the teams actually doing the business, who own and manage their risks every single day. The second line is your specialists, the risk and compliance folks who write the playbook and keep an eye on the first line. And that third line, usually your internal auditors, they're like the independent referees, making sure the entire system is working the way it's supposed to. Okay, let's get to what's probably the most important question for any leader out there. After all this work, all these frameworks and processes, what's the actual payoff? I mean, really, why does all this structure and all this analysis truly matter to a company's bottom line and its future? Is it worth the effort? Oh, absolutely. The benefits are massive, and they go way beyond just saving a few bucks. I mean, sure, you'll reduce financial losses, but the real magic happens inside your operations. Your processes get way smoother. Your whole company becomes more resilient, better able to handle a punch. And maybe the best part? You build this incredible reputation for being solid and reliable, which is just gold with customers and investors. And this is really the mic drop moment of the whole thing. The goal of great risk management isn't to avoid all risk. That's totally impossible and honestly a terrible idea. The real goal is to understand your risks so deeply that you can confidently take the right ones. It's about making those smart, strategic bets that actually lead to growth. It turns uncertainty from something you fear into an actual opportunity.
And so I'll leave you with this to think about. In a world that is just changing at lightning speed, what's the biggest risk in your world that maybe nobody's really paying enough attention to? Definitely something to chew on. Thanks for watching.